Kennedy, Coach Riley has said yesterday that he feels like the offense will be fine once all 11 guys do everything a little bit better. And so I'm wondering, from your perspective, what do you think you still need to do better to help the offense elevate like that?
Man, last week my pass pro was off, so I've been working a lot on that. Just always work my conditioning, finishing runs, catching the ball. I mean, I'll try to get better on everything, but my main focus this week is just be better on pass blocking.
Thanks, Kennedy.
No problem.
Eric Bailey.
Hey, Kennedy, I want to ask you, you guys have been on a big run of Big 12 championships. Does there become a time when you do not want to be the team to see this streak end?
I mean, none of us want the streak to end. I mean, you don't want to be that squad that ends the streak, but our main focus is just being the best team out there every week. I mean, if we do that, then our goals will be achieved of what we want. So we're just trying to go out there and do the best we can every week.
Going back to Jason's question too, when you talk about pass pro, how do you better yourself? What are some of the things you need to do to be better in that aspect of your game?
Not guessing where they're gonna go. Staying patient with my sets, not crossing my feet, taking the inside away, just going back to the basics, honestly, and doing that would help me overall.
Kennedy, thanks. You have a good week, okay?
Thank you. You too.
Ryan Chapman.
Hey, Kennedy, you mentioned your pass protection there. Is that something that just takes some time and actually having to get into the season? I know that opting out last year, plus kind of having limited touches and practices and stuff. Does that just take live reps to get back going?
I mean, I'm always focused on it. Just last week, I mean, the dude beat me. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, but I just gotta stay on it, stay on top of it, and I'm gonna get better every week just doing that. So that's what I've just been doing.
Jenny Carlson.
Hey, Kennedy, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. Hey, I actually wanted to ask you a little bit about Drake Stoops. You guys continually, sort of like the running back position, continue to get really good wide receivers coming in almost every recruiting class. But Drake's a guy as a walk-on, former walk-on now, who just keeps getting on the field. What is it about him that you see out of him that enables him to continually, be in the mix during games?
Man, he's just a hard worker, man. He's just a grinder, man. He comes in and just works his tails off, man. He's a great blocker. He catches everything that goes his way. Man, he finishes runs great. I mean, he's just a hard worker. I mean, he works himself up from, like you said, being a walk-on to a scholarship guy. So, I mean, he's well deserved. I mean, he's a heck of a player.
I know you weren't completely disassociated from the team last year. You watched, obviously, but when you came back into locker room, onto the field with him, were you at all surprised with how he had developed? Lincoln said yesterday he's just gotten a lot better. Were you at all? You saw him, 2 years ago, and now here he is. What did you think when you saw him again?
I mean, I worked out with him. I mean, he's a guy that, just like I said, just grinds. I mean, he comes in and get his work done. Man, does more. I mean, he just works his tails off. He knows. I mean, he been through it. He's seen it all through his life how to be good in this sport and how to be great at it. So that's all he's been doing. So I'm really proud of him.
Thank you.
No problem.
James Hale.
Kennedy, West Virginia has stills. They have a really good defensive front. You played them 2 years ago. You guys didn't get to play them last year anyway. So, but they come back with a really good defense. Talk about, you must be able to run against them. Talk about trying to do that against that outstanding defensive front.
I mean, like you said, I mean they're a great defense. They got a good defensive line, but we just gotta play 11-man football. I mean that's all. That's what it's gonna take to come out with this win. We just gotta play hard for 4 quarters, and man, we do that, man, we with a great chance of winning.
Kenny, I can tell you're motivated. Watching you in high school, you were a really good blocker, man. So whatever happened in that game, but I can tell. I can't wait to watch. You're gonna get after it Saturday. I can tell.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm kind of mad about missing that block. So I'm really trying to never let that happen again for the rest of the season or the rest of my career. So.
Absolutely. Have a great game, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Mason Young.
Hey, Kennedy. Wanted to ask you a little bit about Spencer Rattler. Lincoln talked yesterday a little bit about him kind of having to understand and build connections with this, having a different supporting cast, different receivers, different running backs this year than he did last year. As one of those guys that wasn't around last year, now coming back in, do you feel him and kind of notice him starting to develop that rapport with you and with other guys that he didn't have last year?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, he comes in during the off season, man, working on all of us, doing extra reps, man. And like game reps. I mean, it's all coming together. I mean, just like Coach Rattler said, we just got to play 11-man football, and everything's going to flow together. So we continue to work every day, and it's going to piece in.
Thanks, Kennedy.
No problem.